Welcome back to another episode of Talk to Me, Sis. We have a highly requested, much anticipated guest with us that I have been so excited that she was able to take the time out of her busy days to spend an hour or maybe more with me. We are missing Lise today. As we mentioned in this week's podcast, life is lifing again for her. So we are dividing and conquering. And I have the honor of interviewing Mrs. Get Burly.
That's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Caron? I'm saying
Caron, yeah. Okay. I'm sure there's a correct way to say it, but the redneck way is Caron.
Ashley Caron. Okay. However you want to name her, Mrs. Burly, Ashley Caron. Yeah. Hey, here she is. We are so excited to have you, Ashley. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We are very, very pumped to hear your story. So I started following Ashley on Instagram and on TikTok over this past year, just, you know, how the algorithm feeds you things. And I am always, always, always wanting to listen and wanting to hear other autism mom stories. And I want to hear what other families are going through. I want to know what's working for them, what's not working. And Ashley, as she has hundreds of thousands of people, just grabbed my attention because she is unapologetic. She is real. She is informative. She is raw. She's also hilarious. She puts humor where a lot of us are afraid to use humor. And I think that's one of the most important lessons we can learn, that the only way you're going to get through this is to laugh at yourself and your situation sometimes. She's also not afraid to show us the days that it's just a lot of grief, that it's just really tough to put one foot in front of the other, and talks about what it has brought into her and her family's life. So I am just so thrilled that she was able to be here today. I know her demands are high. Her life is busy. So it's a privilege for us and we're thrilled. But I'm going to pass the ball to you now, Ashley. So tell us about you, like who you are, who you're married to, what kid you have, where you
Yes, I'm happy to. And gosh, goodness, thank you for all the nice things you said about me. I'm going to let my parents know you said that. So
let them listen.
I might need you to, get like that notarized so I can have it.
I'll text you.
I am not unhinged all the time. Okay.
Either.
So my name is Ashley Caron, and I'm born and raised from Newkirk, Oklahoma. I have a daughter, a 16-year-old daughter. Her name's May. And then my 7-year-old son, Stadler, who is autistic, non-speaking. And then my husband, his name is Michael. I call him Mikey, or sometimes I call him asshole, which is a term of endearment in this home. So that's kind of like the gist of where we are right now and all of this. So
I love it. I love it. And Stadler is a handsome kid.
Thank you.
He is a good looking little boy. And obviously he is the focus of most, not all, but most of your social media posting.
Yeah.
And, the world has gotten a chance to see what life is like parenting him and the level, that you're dealing with and working with every day. So we're definitely going to get into all the details that you're that you're okay to share about Stadler's life. But before we do that, in these episodes with other moms, one thing we're really trying to do is make sure that none of us forget, and that we get a chance to share, like, who were we before we had these freaking crumb crunchers? They're our life, their life.
Yeah.
That's what happens. And it happens. I got 3 typical kids. You got 1 typical kid. It happens whether they're special needs or not, but it's on steroids.
Yeah.
You got special. So we want to know, who was Ashley before Michael, May, and Stadler came along?
Yes. Well, I just want to preface this by kind of reiterating what you were just talking about. Parenthood is across the board. It's for everyone. It's challenging, and everybody has their challenges with their kids. You don't know if your kid's going to battle depression or, a lot of other invisible disabilities like my son. So don't dismiss yourself if your kid's not autistic like mine. Everybody's journey is hard. So before all this, before my loved ones, I was a dental hygienist, cleaned the teeth, took the x-rays. My favorite part was administering the local anesthesia, would take blood pressure and numb the patients for the doctor and, get all of that ready. I used to do Ironman triathlons and marathons as a hobby. In fact, I ran a marathon in my first trimester with Stadler. I didn't know.
No way. I didn't know. I knew that you were into triathloning, but I didn't know you had done an Ironman.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's been a minute. You can see my tri bikes. I don't know if I'll ever get back into it, but it was a wonderful hobby of pain and mental exhaustion where you just taught yourself, your brain telling your body, shut up. I don't care how bad you hurt. We're going to finish. We don't know quit. And I know that that can be harmful if you don't go on a broken leg. Okay. Know your limits. But a lot of us have 10 times the paradigm mentally what we can physically do. So and that's one thing about the sleep exhaustion. You know, I have been trained to be like, I got to pay rent. Rent is due. Get up, put in the work. So I did a lot of the endurance sports and that. And, I was just always outside and big time volunteering at animal shelters. I really, really love doing that. Yeah, very free spirit. Like, okay, you want to go hike? Let's go hike. You know, I didn't have to be planned or anything. Yeah.
Ashley, I think that is like such a metaphor for, you know, the Ironman and the triathloning and the learning to discipline your body with your mind for parenting a special needs child. My husband and I are super into fitness too. And that has been fitness and the gym. And I never did an Ironman, but I did mud runs. I did Spartans. I did all that kind of stuff.
That's what my husband does. That's so cool. That's actually how we met, is like in the world of health and fitness.
I love it. That was my next question. How did you meet my
Well, and I also, I want to say, I was creeping your Instagram. I'm like, she's jacked.
Oh,
dude,
no.
She's on my team. Like, she's pretty and she can fight. Okay.
Don't you feel like the fitness thing, learning that if you just learn to control your mind, stressful and potentially even somewhat painful and situations, you are going to get mentally stronger. And I mean, like, the muscle doesn't grow until you tear it down.
Exactly. It's fibrous tissue. You're tearing it. It's rebuilding. It's all about coming back, health, recovery, nutrition. It's discipline, like you said.
And interdisciplinary, you have to do it all. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what special needs parenting is. You have to do it all. You have to live through the pain. You have to stay calm through the pain and keep going.
Chaos, you got to just keep your heart rate chill, and you got to be like, all right, just another day, easy day. Yeah. You know, but why there's fire behind you, your kids smearing shit on the wall. You got to be like, all right, I choose joy.
I love it. I love it. We're kindred spirits already. But fitness, and I'm not trying to go off on this tangent, but literally fitness was my antidepressant. It was what I've never been a big drinker. I've never been, I don't do chemicals. I'll have a drink here and there, but that's just not my thing. I didn't ever like go on any kind of medical therapy when things were really bad, but I was a little bit, I was an addict and a little bit obsessed with like the gym. And I think it was because it was something I could control and also a place where I could be not just mom and wife. I could be, and I could be appreciated for something that I was really good at that was not just in the role of wife and mother, which when Tanner was more severe and things were harder, I felt very out of control a lot of the time, but I felt in control in the gym. Right. You just said that it's, for the most part, I think it's great. You do have to temper it because it can become an unhealthy obsession. But I think that's a message we need to send out too. Like, when you're really going through it, get outside, move your body. It doesn't have to be an Ironman. It doesn't have to be weight. Whatever you like to do, but move your body and get in.
And you know, that's been the hardest part for me, is movement, just brushing my teeth, taking a shower. And so I'm slowly like just stretching mobility exercises. I'm slow, and I have to force myself because I don't want to. I want to sit on the couch. I want to crash out. I want to disassociate. I'm tired, but I'm like, no. And, I do like weightlifting a lot, similar to you. And when you talked about having that control, it's also like power. You feel powerful. You feel like a Spartan warrior soldier. Everybody says what we experience is like combat veterans and military people. Well, then hell yeah, let's go take it out on some weights, because if we don't, we're going to take it out on somebody talking shit. And I'd rather do that in the gym because I won't catch an assault charge, and neither will you. So we take it out on the weights. But also the pain in our hearts, we want to hurt more than that pain. So Ironmans, pushing ourselves, pulling those weights, like, give me that pain, because that pain is so much more manageable than my heart breaking watching my child suffer. Give me that pain. You can't hurt me.
I feel exactly that same way. And for years, it was that for me. And just getting the natural endorphin rush that we're in when you're in that perpetual state of chronic stress, chronic grief, chronic confusion, chronic frustration. And for you, like with Stadler being non-speaking, you can't talk to him.
Mm-mm.
So that adds a whole nother layer of just loss. You got to have somewhere to get those chemicals up in your brain, because that is
Yeah.
a lot. So
I
I love
mean,
it. I love it. And I saw your post the other day where you were swimming with the resistance.
I
Thank
think I'm so excited.
Awesome. That is
Thank you.
awesome work.
It's been good. Like, one of the benefits, we just recently moved here and I've never had a pool before. And so
I'm so jealous.
I was just like, I saw that on Amazon, totally affordable. It was like under $20 and I use it every day. I love it.
And I bet you feel like a different person after you make yourself
I
good.
really do. And I'll tell you, I don't want to get in the water. I don't want to do it because I do battle.
Yeah.
I am massively depressed just because I choose joy and I'm constantly trying to stay on ahead of the negative doesn't mean that darkness doesn't leer and stay behind me.
Yep.
Because when my son has difficult moments, it brings it all back up.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's just, this isn't linear. Like, I'm going to be down in the dumps and I'm going to be high, but I will be depressed. I will have anxiety. And what parent of a child with disabilities doesn't? Like, for the rest of our lives, we don't have a secure future because they don't. What's going on with the climate of the world and just society itself, you have to bring yourself in and just hone in on things that bring it all together. And
You do. And I just love it that you're using that and you're putting that out on social media. Just maybe that sparks the idea with somebody else who's having trouble getting off the couch. Maybe it will motivate them.
Well, I mean, like, this, like you said, this isn't the pretty part of autism over here. And I don't really think there's any pretty part. I just think there's more of a social acceptable part of the spectrum. But is it pretty? No, because there's nothing in the books what to expect when you're expecting on an autistic child. Like, show me that book. The chapter 1's what the fuck. Chapter
Can get it? What?
Chapter 3, it is now a dictator. Tyranny
4
has reigned over our home in dictator form.
Chapter 4, this is not what I signed up for. Can I make an exchange?
Oh, shit.
I love it.
And then chapter 5 is just all just the big list of cocktails.
Yeah. Here's what you should do.
And everything says add a shot.
No. Okay, that's your job. As soon as things calm down a little more, write a book. Okay, we got it. The rough draft.
No problem.
We've already done the rough draft. You're ready. Okay, so let's talk about, so now we know a little bit about you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Stadler. Yeah. Okay, so tell us however much you want to share. Like, when did he come along? How was your pregnancy? How was he as a baby? Did you notice things right away? Was it later? Bring us up to speed on his early years.
Absolutely. And I can go on. When I had Stadler, I was 35, going to be 36 when I have him. So I was considered geriatric in the pregnancy world. It is what it is. They induced me at 39 weeks because of my age. And looking back on it, I wish I would have just kind of let it go natural. But, 35 at the time, I'm not a doctor. And I only thing I was ever told with my son is I had low amniotic fluid, but they never seemed concerned about that. So maybe one day that's important for research. I don't know. But he was born in Lawrence, Massachusetts, kind of right outside of Boston, because we had lived in Georgetown, Massachusetts at the time. And he was born in the worst blizzard in 100 years called the bomb cyclone.
No way.
I'm dead, girl. Is that not, I mean, like, now it makes perfect sense. Of course you did. Of course you did.
You should have known.
I'm at the hospital with this newborn baby and everything's running on generators because the power's out. You got snow up to your hips if you go walk outside. Like, the hospital doors wouldn't open. There was so much snow. Yeah.
Oh,
all right. So, he never slept. He really never slept. And I wasn't too worried about that because my daughter, she wasn't a great sleeper until she was about 4 years old. Okay. So I was just like, okay, got to put in another 4 years. I can do this. Right. Well, unfortunately, here we are on year 7 and it's not much better. So the sleep disorder or issue has been since day 1. And still to this day, it's very difficult for him to be at peace and calm and just finally sleep. Like, he'll be exhausted and running on delirium, but just darting like the zoomies of a dog and because he's just so overtired and overstimulated. And So you get them on medicine. Sometimes it don't work. A medicine that would put an adult out, mind you. My son is a big 7-year-old, but also with him being on the spectrum, you know how they're different as far as medications and how they respond to them. So the medicine my son's on is sedatives for an adult, and sometimes those don't work. So that's been the hardest stuff, because handling the chaos, the pain, and just never stopping on no sleep. Like, it's impossible. Nobody can do it. It's a form of torture.
There's many things harder than being sleep deprived. Like, I can be hungry.
Yes.
My body can be super sore. I can have an injury, but sleep deprivation, and the older I get, the more that's tough.
I was losing hair. My husband and I would have to take shifts because he would be up 24 hours at a time. And this was before his sleep safe bed. And this was before, when Stadler was diagnosed, which was about 2.
Okay. So
then COVID hit a month later, but
wow.
I know, I'm telling you, I will write this book, and you guys are just gonna be like, this girl cannot catch a break. Karma, we are squared up. Like, leave me alone.
They need to leave you the hell alone.
Please and thank you. Go to my haters.
Do you know what I've been doing?
There's a bunch of assholes. I'm trying. So he's diagnosed, and my husband and I, grief is normal. There's love and grief can live in the same place. So, we go to the internet, we start seeing videos, and you see the spectrum. And we would just, because you get on the internet, they give you the most severe usually. Yeah. And so my husband and I are looking, and we're like, it can't be that bad. It won't get that bad. And I'm not proud of this, but I'm going to be honest. You're like, and then that was at 2. At 4 years old, his aggressions and violence really started to get out of hand and become more abundantly sporadic.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, it just keeps increasing and increasing. But it's not just the aggression and the violence. His self-interest behaviors hurt us and break us the most. We can get more into that here in a second.
He got the diagnosis at 2. And I know you said sleep was an ongoing issue from infancy. What other things were you seeing that made you think, okay, we're off here at 2?
Yeah,
like, what are you seeing at 2?
So before his diagnosis, my mom was actually the one to say, I wonder if he's autistic, because he would just be flapping like he was going to fly away. It's the cutest damn thing. And then he still gets to it. But when he was like 2, he was just, and I'm like, oh, okay. Go to the doctor. Doctor ain't too worried about it. His kids didn't start talking to 4, same old story.
Yeah.
Dismissive. But let's do early intervention just in case. So early intervention comes in and does an assessment and basically tells me, without legally telling me, because they're not neurologists, they can't diagnose, but he needs to go to a neurologist. He's probably autistic. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then that, of course, going to a neurologist, much like anybody, is a long wait list. It can be up to 2 years. And so that's Boston Children's Hospital. And they have satellite locations. So I'm just calling different places. I have them appointments 2 years out. And I'm like, if you have a cancellation, call me. We will come. Because at this, I've retired. My full-time job is my son. So I don't care. I will go. I don't even need to put a bra on. Let's do this.
Let's go.
Yeah. Titties flying. Let's go.
I'm here.
Make them clap.
Here we go. So Ashley, that is one thing too. I remember that feeling of somebody saying, okay, you need this assessment. You need this therapy. And then you call and they're like, we'll see you in 18 months. I'm like, what the am I supposed to do for the next 18 months? I don't know what I'm doing.
Help you. And the people, they're like putting urgency on it. They're not just being like, oh, take your time. They're like, you need to do this so he can get qualified, so he can get into services. You got to hurry. And you're like calling people. Oh, yeah. See you in 2030.
You're saying, as the mom, I'm available. I could drop and be there in 30 minutes. Let's go. And they, oh, we're sorry. We'll see you in, 17 months, 5 days. And like, what?
Yeah.
So it's like you can't win. And I remember
AT&T has better response time than they do. My God.
I remember that being one of the very worst parts.
And it's everything. And then it's just everybody, all these places all communicate with each other, or they're supposed to, but they don't. So it's you have to redo everything, re-explain everything. Here's the diagnosis. And it's a lot of bureaucracy and redundancy, and they make it hard. They make it hard and unnecessary.
Oh, honey, you are so language.
That's the next podcast.
Right. Oh my God. It's so hard. It's so hard. So he gets the diagnosis when the early intervention starts.
Yeah.
And we're not really sure what level he's at.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
hopeful.
He's just this cute little 2-year-old hobbit potato looking baby. I mean, I call him my adorable dictator potato hobbit baby, or my shit smearing angel. Both of them, are suitable. He's just so cute. And
it's cute.
But then at 4, just the slaps.
Okay,
so kicks. And I'll never forget the first time his self-interest behavior. He used to have a personal iPad. We got rid of that years ago because it was just invoking more agitation, which would cause him to hurt himself. But I'll never forget the first time I saw it. He was just walking around playing, and something did not go to his liking. And he just took this whole iPad and smashed it into his head repeatedly. And you're thinking, oh, he would stop that hurt. He just kept doing it. And I did not know how discriminatory the world is to the disabled until I had a disabled child. And the reason why is because this shit's shocking.
It is shocking.
If I didn't intervene, and then it started him slamming his head off the asphalt on the ground or the railing and it's because maybe he's in pain. It's maybe because he's annoyed that something isn't to his liking, but he has, as of right now, no functional communication, despite our best efforts. You know it. Everybody's like, try sign language. We still do. But Stadler struggles with fine motor skills. He can't even point yet, but we work on this stuff. Pictures. We got pictures everywhere. My God. We have the AAC. We're doing everything, but the world just looks at our kid and just thinks that we have done minimal, and that it's so shocking that it's not real. So
and people can't even imagine what your reality is. They can't even wrap their mind. We just take for granted that your child's going to sleep.
Yeah.
You just think you're going to be able to sleep and face it again tomorrow.
Exactly.
You're not even sleeping.
Yeah. Well,
hierarchy of needs. You got to sleep. You got to eat. You got, you know what I mean? You can't deal with the higher things until you get the lower things.
Yeah, everybody's like, put on your oxygen mask first. I'm like, I can't because I'm on fire. I'm literally a ball of fire and stress. Give me fucking coffee and my depression pills. Let me go. I got to keep this kid alive. You're not going to do it, but you're going to judge me.
I'm trying to not let him hurt himself.
I know. Yeah, he doesn't have any sense of danger or anything like that. And since age 4, it's just progressively gotten worse. And like I said, the moments that are heartbreaking and dark, and there are going to be some things I just can't share because I can't relive it. It's so traumatic. It's so fucking awful. But my husband and I would say to each other, it can't get worse than this. It can't. And it does. So the people, and it's nice because people do want to continue to support us, and they're so kind, and they say it gets better. In this home, in this case, with my son, it hasn't. For whatever reason, his part of the spectrum is just severe regression over time. And I don't know why, because we do everything.
Right.
We'll go into depth, and we love him. We won't, this is our due diligence. We want to do this, but we're also like, what is this going to be like when he's 17 and he's 30 and he's pulling out his own teeth? What am I going to do
when he's 200 pounds? And I know that is.
And then people say, well, how? Oh God. When people say, why do you allow that? Why do you let that happen? Girl, give me my boxing gloves. Take off. We're going to make this legit.
Yeah.
What do you mean? If I intervene, I'm going to get severely hurt, which we do. And then if we do try to intervene, his self-interest behaviors even become more aggressive. Right. The best thing is to remove yourself from the situation. Try to keep him safe. It's like, but I also want to be like, you come and do this. Let me see if you would handle this. And I hope my son would beat their asses. Just whop them. Wally whop their asses, son. Get them.
Let him have it. Show him.
Yeah, because I just, you let him. You allow him. People don't know that professionals are worldwide. People who specialize in this do not have concrete, just direct guidelines of what you're supposed to do. If you got a typical kid, your kid has an ear infection, okay, take him to the doctor. Doctor will look, take their weight, get an antibiotic. My son won't go into the building.
Right.
It takes 3 people to get his weight, and sometimes they can't even do that. And now I'm supposed to give him amoxicillin and a liquid syringe. No, and he throws it up everywhere. And then his ears hurt. And they're like, all right, give him a Tylenol. Because there's no standards that meet our kids' needs on this end. Like, and it's nobody's fault. It's just where we're at in the world. Like,
right.
And that's what happens is our kids' severe needs far outgrow what the system can provide and what services can provide. And it's just humanity, because nobody's been around autism. When I was growing up in high school, I didn't even know about this kind of autism. Either. It was not talked about. So when we share this on social media, we're piercing that veil they're not exposed to. And because it's new, it's different, it's shocking, their response is hate. And our response is serve them with humor, sarcasm, talk some shit, and also educate them. That's it. Right. Have a good time.
And let them see the reality.
Yeah. My truth can't be beat. This is my truth. You don't like it, there's nothing I can do about that. But my son and this is what supportive looks like. There is somebody in my position who's a single parent, who's fighting a terminal illness, who, can't afford groceries. Right. And I'm what's bothering you? Fucking bring it, bitch. You can't stop us. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so tired of people suffering.
Me too. And that's why, we wanted to do this series. And, it's the same concept as I just want everyone to stop demonizing anything. Like, if one family is helped by this particular modality of therapy, leave them alone. It's working for their child. If another family really champions this one, because I still don't think people understand how incredibly unique and different each child is, and how just incredibly detailed and specific all the different aspects of their autism are. Yeah. And it's not just the autism. Like I've said a million times, at 26, autism is not really Tanner's big problem. It's not. His big problems now are his auditory processing disorder and his anxiety. But hand flapping, stimming, things of autism, no. Like he was a little boy, those were the problems. Yeah. His sensory issues, those are well under control now. And he actually handles it himself.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It is.
Good on him.
And then when I just can't stand it when anybody judges anybody and does thing for 5 minutes and put themselves in that other family's shoes. Like, what would you do? Like, come talk
This is your 24/7, minute to minute, when your kid's not in a program because they're too violent to go to, and you can't even take them because you can't afford a car, because you can't have a job, because nobody can employ you, because you're always getting to go pick up your kid who's too violent. It's a rinse and recycle of just despair. And that's why I always say stay feral. Like, you got to have some fight. You got to have some gusto. And I like what you said. It's not autism. Like, they're people. They have personalities. They have souls. And certain things make them spark and light up. And that can change. Because I wonder, as Stadler's getting older, I'm noticing things like OCD. Like, we have a lot stuff like that. But that wasn't a thing at 2, now he's 7. So I definitely relate to what you were saying there. And that's badass that Tanner that did that, man, regulating like that.
And it's been amazing to watch, but it didn't happen until like literally adulthood, like young adulthood. It took that long. But so with Stadler being non-speaking, what are the things? Like when he's having a good day, what brings him joy? Where is he relational with you? How does he show love? How does he show a desire for companionship? Like, tell us those parts.
Yeah. Those are really, really, really special moments. I can go on and on.
Videos I've got.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's just like you said, it's the littlest things. Like right now, here, we got these little cheap tissues because he likes to take them and he tears them up in little pieces and he throws them in the air and he runs around them. So this will be littered all over our house. And I don't care. I just sweep it up at the end of the day. But I just love watching him. And there's a fan. He'll put it right there and he'll just watch the air blow it. And he'll just do that for hours. And I just sit there and watch him. It's just so fascinating. And he likes scarves. And I mean, anytime he can get outside, he's going to be in a pile of dirt. I mean, he will roll in it like a pig. He loves the texture. He's got his feet in it. He takes it and he just rubs it like a chinchilla in dirt. Loves it. Loves it.
That's what
And as far as like showing just, I don't know, where he's slightly interested in me, because he don't hug. He's not very affectionate. If you ask for a kiss, he'll kind of like pucker up and give you one. But I notice these moments, and they're very rare, but they're very special when they happen. He'll stop everything. He'll cry.
Okay. Okay.
He'll stop everything, and he'll just look me dead in the eye. Just, and he don't make eye contact very often, but he just holds still, and he grabs my hand, and it's almost like he's saying, "I love you," or "Thank you," or
Right.
like, "You're my best friend." I always talk to him like
I'm here.
we're having a conversation back, like, "You're my best friend," or what do you think about this? And he doesn't respond, but everybody says he can understand you. So I just like talk to him like I would anybody else.
Oh, okay. I love that, because a lot of our guests that we've had recently that have older children that are much more profoundly affected, the idea of presuming competence, and like, no matter what's showing up on the outside, no matter what behaviors are coming out, presuming that they know more than they appear to know, or maybe more than they're letting you know they know. I love that. And I was never taught that. You know what I mean? Like back in the early 2000s when we were in our therapy years. And I think I was so fearful, and I was so not knowledgeable. I just didn't know. I was just doing the best I could. I mean, I had 3 little tiny kids, and dealing with that, I wasn't even 30.
Wow.
Trying to get through all that. But I think that is so important at now that we know more, to presume that they do know, that they love you, that they're trying to communicate things, that they want you to see them, the whole person. I think that will do more for these kids.
And it's really difficult. Like I said, I always try to put people in, we're in 2 different worlds than people who have typical families routines. And I always think if they're in my situation, because I've been in this situation where I'm like, can he understand me? Does he have intellectual disabilities? Like, what is going on here? Because he will be so violent and aggressive, and you're just pleading, no, we help each other, we don't hurt each other, safe hands, please. And it's just like he's not there, he's gone. And I know it's caught up in the moment and everything, but even when there's calm times, and he doesn't know self-harm or danger, so he'll try to chew on an electrical cord that's plugged in. No, you can't do that. And he'll continue to do it. And I'm like, you will die if you do that. No, he's going to keep doing it. Yeah. And I'm like, so when people are like, I just think whenever you don't know much about autism and you're in that position, and you're like, well, he obviously does have intellectual disabilities. When the truth of the matter is, he's just probably doing what he wants to do. Like, he hears me just fine, because we've had his hearing checked twice at Boston Children's, so But if so it's confusing. It's all just like what we're taught is presume competency, but their behaviors are very infantile still. Like sensory is involved. It's all complex and meshed together, that I think my son's sensory issues is what makes him seem like he's intellectually behind. And he's globally developmentally delayed, but it doesn't mean that he's not there. But sensory wise, he can go on the potty and on himself and not tell me he needs a new diaper, because I don't think he can feel it. I don't think he can feel it when he goes even. So we have to check him all the time. So somebody on the outside would look at that and be like, oh, well, he's clearly disabled mentally, but that's not true. He can't feel it. Isn't it fascinating?
It is so bad. And like a lot of Tanner's more severe symptoms and behaviors when he was little were all sensory in nature. And he used to be just a pressure seeker. And I also, for a long time, thought that there maybe wasn't enough going on. And I was so worried about what he could understand, what he did understand. And he was constantly like, he couldn't learn at the same rate or retain information, because he was seeking input for his sensory issues. He was standing on his hands. He was jumping on the trampoline. He was flapping his hands. He was running up and down the stairs. And we were extremely blessed that it never was anything injurious or aggressive. It was motion. It was just motion all the time. And, but now I'm realizing there was too much. Now that he can tell me a lot more, I really think, and I wonder if this is the case for a lot of them, it's like his sensory system is so much more acute and so more sensitive than the typical person's. I think his peripheral vision is overactive. I think his hearing is stronger. And I think he just had this need in his joints. Like he wanted us to like like not I'm not but like push him in the like play rough to him and push him in the ground like on the trampoline. The therapist would get on there and they would like where it was safe on a trampoline, knock each other down on the trampoline and stuff because he would bounce back. He would laugh and do and he would go outside, and not that we get that cold in South Carolina, but we get a winter in like shorts and Crocs. Sure, nothing. It's like 38 degrees and windy, and he's down the four-wheeler. I mean, just roaring at 30 miles an hour. I would have literally been frostbitten and dead.
He's having the time of his life.
Did not feel cold. And so I think that's so true. I think when the sensory is so dysregulated and so just out of whack and just driving them nuts, they can't think, but that doesn't mean the intelligence isn't there.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I like how you put that. It really opened my perspective because I thinking about hearing more and everything being so much 10 times more, that would make you chaotic. Like I would be like constantly, that makes sense.
And you'd be pissed.
Yeah. Like everybody, just like everything's too bright, everything's too loud. And that's fascinating. That's why I like talking and having these conversations, and just because you learn and you get different perspectives. And that was good. Because Stadler he was diagnosed with language processing disorder, and you said auditory processing. Is that the same thing or okay?
Tanner has words, obviously. He has so many words and he talks a lot, but he has an issue with processing auditory input. So it's weird. He can give it out, but he doesn't take it in very well. And it's like it has to go around several extra loops, and he doesn't always he will hear all these words. Like if someone gives him several sentence, conversation, he will pick out the minute detail and miss the main point. It makes sense. He knows the words you said, but they don't work together for him like they do you and me. And it is the most wild thing to watch because you can talk. You can talk, but why don't you understand? And like he can read at a high school level, and he'll like read out loud beautifully, but he doesn't know what he doesn't know what he said.
Well, just like you said, the uniqueness of every autistic individual, like it just
every autistic kid. So with all the aggression and the behaviors, what therapies have you guys tried at this point? Like, what have you done?
Well, whenever we got his diagnosis, he went to early intervention, and we started him an ABA, physical therapy, occupational therapy, and his speech pathologist who was at Boston Children's. We're still in contact with her today, and she still helps us. Then and he was doing great, and then COVID hit, so they weren't doing in-home visits, they weren't doing center-based, and so there was a while you did nothing. But he was 2 at the time, it was just like, all right, well, let's just go have the best summer ever. And then so after everything started getting back to normal, we tried school part-time, and I mean it was fine, but he only went like a couple days a week, and we were thinking maybe we can do therapy on top of school. Well, we just went back to the ABA, PT, OT, and speech, and he loved it. In fact, before we moved from Massachusetts, that was the only thing really keeping us locked down in Massachusetts. Like, do we want to move away from this place, be it that our son's happy, he's doing better, it hurt to leave. But now that we're here, fast forward 2 years, we have him back in a place very similar, and it's been a blessing. So you can see how happy he is. Come on.
Oh, those videos you posted recently made me cry.
This is what we prayed for. He's happy. Go ahead.
How recently was that? How recently did you restart the ABA?
2 weeks now. 2 weeks now. Yeah.
Brand new. And you were saying you were very afraid to, try it again or like go back to that. But it's been.
Well, because, every place is different. Before we even got him into any ABAs, back when we lived in Massachusetts, we toured at least like 3 or 4 places, and there were several where you walked in and you're like, hell no, I am not bringing my child here. You got me fucked up. And so you have to go through it just like anything. You take your kid to a daycare, you're going to make sure this is a safe one and that you like him. Like it's no different. And then we got here to Arkansas, and we're like, well, let's just try the public schools, horrendous for everyone. He was violent to himself, students, the staff.
Oh,
And I mean, it really, they're very nice. But it got to the point where my son, like everybody was miserable. Everyone was miserable. Everyone was getting hurt. Paras were going to get tetanus shots because my son was biting them. And they would still be like, we love having Stadler. And I said, no, you fucking don't. I go, there's no way. And I go, I get it. It's your job, because if they say we can't take care of him, they have to pay for it. Like
right.
so they're doing everything he can still come here. And I go, I don't want my baby to come here. I go, just pretend this is your baby. Pretend this is your kid. They're dead silent. I go, exactly. I go, so if my kid hurts another kid, can their parents press charges? And they go, well, we don't know. What? So we got him out of there, and we got him in this ABA very recently, 2 weeks now, and you can see it night and day. When we would bring him home from school, hell, the aggressions, the violence, the screaming, the self-interest behaviors, like it's hell. But now that he's ABA, we come home, he's regulated. He's smiling.
That's amazing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so it doesn't bother me, but I don't want people to be like, if they have a child that's similar to my child, don't discredit ABA. No. Do your due diligence. Find one that you're happy to try with. And you get to be, I text them, I message them. We're in constant communication because they know my son's needs. You know, there are places out there where right now he has 4 to 1. He's 4 therapists. Yeah, girl. Like they're taking and he's happy.
That's amazing.
And he's not hurting anybody, except one day he did bite one of them. But they were cool. She's like, don't even apologize. She's like, this is what we trained for. And I'm like, I will never not be sorry though for my kid biting you. Like, how weak. Like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. You're like, I'm going to go home now. I'm so sorry.
The walk of shame is from ABA to the car with your kids.
Oh my God. He better. I know. I can remember being down in the kitchen because we did in-home ABA. I had a team of girls that came here, and Tanner was up in the guest room, and we did one of those hook latches up high so he couldn't unlock the door and get out. And I can remember hearing him banging on the door, screaming, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, come get me." And Heather was rock star lead therapist. Yeah. She literally owe her a lot of his life skills. She was amazing. She never gave up on him. She never let it bother her. And I can remember sitting on the kitchen floor, sobbing, calling Mark, and be like, crying for me.
And Mark's your baby.
He was little. He was like 4, he was like so new. And Mark said, if you walk up those stairs, I will beat your ass. He said,
teamwork.
He said, do not rescue
You got to hold each other accountable, man. Yeah. That's how Mikey and I are too. Yeah, I do. I'm just like, that's my baby.
It's your baby. Yeah. People need to realize that too. Like, don't demonize any one therapy. I mean, every therapy has good points and bad points. There are good therapists and there are bad ones. There's good teachers, there's bad teachers. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you got to find your kid's recipe. Yeah. And I look back now in hindsight, and I realize that we overdid some things and underdid others.
Oh yeah.
For God's sake, you come be in your late 20s and parent 3 children.
Oh my God.
Pay all the bills and clean your house and do your laundry.
Yeah. Everybody. Cooking, chauffeuring.
Right. And do the therapy perfectly. And then come back and tell me how you did it. I'd love to know. And
I think a lot of, not per se a lot of parents, but some people get in a position where they feel like they don't have control and power. And I think it's a good reminder that we use this time, both you and I, to empower other parents and be like, you do get to say so. That is your kid. You have full control. You have full power. So if you're not happy, bounce. Go find it. Like, nobody's making you, but also you got to have an open mind, because autism is still to this day under-researched, misunderstood. It's getting better. We're getting there. But these professionals, they don't know more than what we do. Like, we're all in this together. So, like this new ABA, we're all in agreement. Stadler's on like a 90-day probation, to see if this is a good fit for him and for the staff and other kids. And I get it. So they're just going to collect all that data and then go from there. But they have to learn him. They have to know his uniqueness and that's what they're trained for. That's what place is for. Because you're thinking, how tedious, how silly. No, I wish my son could go to school and learn his ABCs and social studies, but he's going to a school that's more of a medical setting that's teaching him not to hurt himself.
Yeah.
It's teaching him not to hurt other people, or, you know, trying to find a functional language. And that's his school. We always call ABA school for him.
Yeah, we did too. We did too. We called it homeschool. We called it homeschool just because it was a easier term, and I think it helped him understand what was going on. So I am so happy. I mean, that has to be, you have to feel like a million-pound weight is off your chest just for you to have that block of time every day where you know he's protected, you know he's doing something constructive, and you know he's safe, and that there's hopefully, even if you make an inch of progress every day, that's be the world to you.
Oh, it's amazing. And that's the other thing at school, because they're good people. They saw me. They saw I needed a break, so they were always encouraging me to bring Stadler to school. And finally, I just go, while he's there, it is hard. It's difficult for me to emotionally and mentally calm down, because I know he's over here beating everybody's asses. And I'm about to pick him up, and the principal and vice principal have to walk him out together. I go, nobody thinks about what parents go through with this stuff. I go, so you think you're giving me break when all I'm doing is just sitting at home, pacing back and forth, waiting for my phone to ring, you know? And now, just the last 2 weeks, it hasn't been like that. And I told my mama, I'm like, I feel like I can breathe a little bit better. My chest isn't heavy. I'm proud of myself, because doing this podcast, I'm just normally just like to myself. I don't want to do anything, like I said, and I'm finding myself excited. Like when you're like, let's do this, I'm like, that sounds fun, you know?
But there's a little bit of hope. There's a little bit of reason to be energized, and that
be happy about something other than being in the abyss of autism, you know. And there's some good parts of advocacy, but sometimes you're just tired and you just want to be a girl and hang out with a girlfriend and talk. Yes.
Get it all.
Yeah.
So, Ashley, what would you say? Like, what do you, and I'm not sure exactly how to phrase this, what do you think, you and a family like yours, what do you need from people? Like from
I love this one. I love this one.
From the community, like if I'm not, and I don't know how limited like Stadler's social outings are, like as far as like restaurant, grocery store, church, anything like that.
We don't do any of that. We tried church for a long time till he was 2, but after that we couldn't take him.
It just wasn't working.
Yeah. I mean, you got these cute little old ladies in daycare with these babies, and you got Stadler, this potato bulldozer going around. I mean, it was a cool church, because they were, one day they just brought him up because we can't take care of him. He was running back and forth, and everybody didn't bother one bit. They're fine. Praise the Lord.
Oh my God. Come be the kid. Take him to the Lord. Let him bless him.
He's probably in the baptism tank, splashing and having a good old time, slapping his belly.
Ripping all the Kleenex for the box.
Shoot.
For you, like,
okay,
so you've got this child who is not conforming to social norms.
Correct.
Who is maybe not acting, the way people expect him to act, who is not doing things that are age appropriate. What do you need from other people?
I was watching, I went through your stuff and your podcast, and I saw that you had interviewed Betsy on the Go, Joey's mom. Love them, right? And I liked what she said, because she made a good point. Joey can't be conditioned, and Stadler's the same way. If I were to go in there and offer Stadler his favorite food, an iPad, all the things that he would want, and I'm just like, just go pick up that ball and put it in the bin, he won't do it. That's, so that's a hard concept, because a lot of kids, you'd be like, hey, here's $5, go take out the trash. Okay, yeah, no problem. That doesn't exist in our world. And so that's different for friends and family to understand, so when we're at home and they're like, oh, if you do this, you get a snack. I'm like, he don't give no shit about no snacks. He
want snack.
He might eat a handful of dirt. So I think validity, support, see our kids being put behind endless therapies and chaotic home environments like our other kids. My daughter, May, 16, you have other children too.
Yep.
They are not exempt to this. They experience the
trauma.
Yeah. And very recently, my daughter, she went to go live with her dad, and that was a mutual decision. Not easy, very sad. Still to this day, it's hard. Like, I'll be cooking dinner and I'm like, May, oh yeah, she's not here. But
Yeah.
This, you got to put your kids' needs before
Your
my own. Selfishly, of course, I want her here all the time, but the way my body responds whenever Stadler has a difficult time, and I'm a 42-year-old experienced woman in the world, now throw my daughter's 16-year-old self in this. How? She doesn't have the wherewithal. She doesn't understand. Her anxiety was through the roof. She was living in constant fear and exhaustion. And her daddy and I were still close, of course, and his partner and I, like, they came over, we hung out, they stayed the night, we helped May move.
Awesome.
This is a collective. Another reason why we moved down this way away from Massachusetts, just the family support. And she's still real close. I mean, I can go hop in the car and see her, but that's your baby, you know, that's my baby. But, you know, I would tell her, I go, May, this is hard. This is hard on you. You get to say this shit sucks. You can cuss. I don't care. I won't tell grandma. I was like, this stuff is hard. And I go, you also grieve what could have been, because she was excited to have a sibling. She was very excited. And she's like, I'm so tired of watching him hurt you, mama. You know, so I want you to think about the other kids, you know, and she's like, he hurts you all the time and I don't like it. And I go, but he's not meaning to. It's this turmoil. It's this pain that people don't see behind our doors. That this isn't fun shares. This is humiliating. This is humbling, you know, but I don't have any other way to hide this. This shit's real. And I'm not the only one experiencing it. So having people go, seeing that your spouse, your children, everybody is affected by the home of the uniqueness of your child and what goes on. But, you know, also don't immediately just, have you tried this? Don't do that shit, because I guarantee you, we've gone in debt. We've already damn tried it. And also this isn't a puzzle piece. This is constant chaos. We just want to hear, that is hard. I'm sorry. Yeah. Dang. I hear you. How's May handling that? Well, you know, just listening, because there is no answers. Like I stated previously, world-renowned specialists don't have the answers. You're not going to, melatonin ain't going to fix it. Essential oils ain't going to fix this shit. Okay. I can cleanse the fuck out of my son. Not going to happen. But you listening and be like, stop it.
Like, nope, we're not going to oil him up. Nope.
It just diminishes. But and then a lot of people are so kind-hearted. I guarantee you they mean it with the goodness of their heart. But then there's just you're just so tired and you're exhausted. Like, no shit, I've tried melatonin. But what it does is it deminimizes what we're going through. You think if that worked, I wouldn't have done it? Like, this is serious shit. My kid's pulling out his teeth with blood all around. That's another reason why May witnessed him pulling out his teeth. That's true. Hearing the root snap and everything. And she's like running away screaming, mama. How can I do that to my child? So my child, there's other kids just like a May out there.
Yeah, there are.
That don't have a way out.
That don't have a good dad.
And that's what I told, because, you know, my husband and I, and it never makes your heart feel good when your kid's like, it's too crazy and hard to live here. Can I move? And, you know, May was brave. She was scared because she didn't want to hurt our feelings. Yeah. I was like, baby, of course you can. That's why we moved here, is for you, for my kids. Everything's for you. Let's get you going. I go, it's going to be great. You know, and then of course I go in my bedroom and I cry at night, but that's your kid. You got to be happy. But there's kids that are her age that have to work a job.
I know.
You know, that they just don't have it. So, it's just a daily battlefield, and that support and that solidarity is big, especially from people that you love and you respect. Whenever somebody like yourself just did this right here is healing, you know, and just, well, no, it is. I mean, I don't think that you really give yourself enough credit about the lives that you're saving just by using your platform, your voice, and your energy to project positivity in a really dark world.
It is a dark world. And I just feel like people I agree. There are no answers with autism. And I think that's another thing. Even Tanner and Connor, and as high as they are, and we are saying they are very high functioning. They have done a lot. They have had a lot of amazing opportunities in their
life. Which we love. Keep going. Let's go.
Exactly. And it's so fun to watch. But they both, and I say that just like people need to realize too, they both have struggles that normal 26-year-olds do not, and they will have those struggles forever. And even with all the success and privilege, their outcomes are still not those of a typical person.
Correct.
And it is something that the family will carry
Mhm.
and the siblings
Yeah.
carry. You know,
Yep.
I mean,
It's a
this thing,
domino effect.
it's a dance. I mean,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
there's like, and I found, and I love, I mean, I'm just in such admiration of you being willing to let her go. Like that's the
Mm.
highest form of love.
Yeah.
You're like being willing to sacrifice what you would prefer
Mm.
and what would be emotionally, of course, you want to cling to her. And I'm sure enjoy, like
Yeah.
enjoy, she's your typical easier
Yeah.
child.
Yeah.
You want her.
Yeah.
You want to just enjoy every moment of watching her life. But if it's better for her,
Mm-hmm.
emotionally and mentally,
Yeah.
to her main place of residence be
Yeah.
somewhere. That's
Well,
the
your
most,
home is supposed to be your safe place,
right.
and we bend over backwards to do that for Stadler. Why wouldn't I do the same thing for my daughter?
Yeah.
You know, that's another reason why we ended up buying this house, because the whole upstairs is like a whole living loft area. Like it's just a whole little suite. Got the bathrooms, got 2 bedrooms. I mean, it's when we were like, this is perfect for May because she can get away from Stadler and the noises.
Yeah.
And even with this, she was like, I can't, because his screams are so loud. I mean, he's waking up at 2 a.m. screaming and running. She's got school the next morning.
Right.
You know? Yeah. So, in short, I think that the most important thing family, friends, society can do is be the buffer and speak up for families when others are just ignorant or cruel, you know, like
be and don't judge.
Be the friend that walks in when everybody else walks out.
Yeah.
No fake positivity.
Yeah.
We don't need just presence, effort, and respect. That's it. That's a great starting point. And then, because I really feel like 20% of it is just getting the society educated. The rest of it is the bureaucracy, the paperwork, the systems that are made for us to fail. And then also, like in your experience, there's an age cutoff for all these services. Like, why does that exist? And I mean, crossing state lines, you have to reapply for all this stuff. They're disabled in every fucking state. What do you mean? Like this, well, I want to make so much change. I don't give a damn about money. I don't give a damn about fame, but I want to make shit easy. I should be able to go from Massachusetts and Arkansas and be like, he's still disabled. His shit's still same. He's like nationally, a national database. Yeah. Like, but they want to make it hard as possible. And then, you know, the climate of the world as far as politics, and it ain't looking at much better. The oligarchs, I should say. But that's our main fight. That's our main fight. And that's what it's coming down to, is people are getting tired of the bureaucracy of Medicaid and Medicare and qualifications and insurance driven, and the insurance getting you to be the doctors when they're not. That's our big fight. You know?
It is. And it's overwhelming. It was, yeah. I just always wonder, like, you know, what is, I think when Tanner was young, I think like 7, because we were in the height of it too. He got diagnosed at 4. We knew from like 2.5 on that something was very off, but formally diagnosed at 4. I think I would say the same thing. Like, and for someone, and I don't know how this would do with you with Stadler, is it with his behaviors, but like for someone just to give me a minute and unconditionally, like even just come over and let me go get my hair done, or let me go to the grocery store by myself in the car with the radio on and no one talking to me
or touching me,
or no kid shows on, or no kid music on, or even, and I had one friend, like you said, the talking thing, and I will forever be in her debt, and we will always be close. Like, she's living in a different community now. We don't see each other every day like we used to. She would listen to me, just listen to me. She didn't know what to say. She had all these little children. She had no answers, 0 to 0, none. I would cry my eyeballs out, talk incessantly about therapy and money,
and no one understanding.
And I'm so sad, and all that we're losing, and I wish he could do this, and I wish he could do that, and he's left out.
You make me cry because same.
Just to her.
Yeah.
She just listened. She just listened.
That's what my mom is for me. And at the end of it, she's like, I don't know, because that's another thing. People, this is my parents' first time of being grandparents to a child who's autistic. So whenever I do what you did, just cry and let loose, just freaking, I'd rather you go to the darkest places with your most secure place, and that was with your friend and my mama. And I was at the end of it, and I'm like, Mom, am I a pussy, or is this just really hard? And she goes, baby, it's very hard. And it made me feel so much better, because I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like, I can't, like, am I a baby? Am I a wimp? Why is this so hard?
No,
but it made me feel good, that validity of like, nah, this is hard.
Miss Iron Man, it's hard.
We got a visitor. I don't know if you can see him.
Yeah.
Hey, Stadler.
What's that?
You say hi?
Cute. Hey, buddy. Yeah, but no, I love, and I think that validation, just like telling that mom in your life, I see you.
Yeah.
I was recently at a thing with Tanner that Tanner was asked to do, and had the pleasure of making the acquaintance of a mother of a child, of a young man about Tanner's age, mid-20s, who is level 3, non-speaking, has to be supervised and cared for 24/7. And we just had the warmest, loveliest conversation, she and I, and it was so bonding. And she was genuinely happy for Tanner, looking at his success and what he was able to do. And I was watching her mother, her precious boy, who like requires so much. And I was just in awe of her. And I was watching, and there was no bitterness. There was no jealousy. There was no anything. She just loved him, and she just did what he needed her to do. And when we left, I looked at her and I said, I see you. I was like, I see you, and I see what you're doing, and you're amazing. And I just want you to know every day I see you, and like you are incredible at what you're doing for that young man. And she just cried and she hugged me, didn't say anything. But I was just like, it was such a moment. And I was like, if we could all see each other. If we could all just see each other, no matter where you fall on this.
Well, and that's another thing, because you do, our kids work so hard in a world that works against them. The world isn't just a world, it's going against them, and they work just like your son, like you said. Don't belittle what he's put to be where he's at now, and how hard he still works
to keep up with all.
When we get in these trenches, we feel like we don't see any movement. We don't see any forward progression, or the regressions are so brutal. You're like, we got all that work done for nothing, you know? It's just, so when you have another parent, like, I see you, I get it. It's just like,
it is.
I don't have to fake it. You got it. You get it. Like, I get it exist.
Yeah, it is. And when someone, because there's so many times that even when they don't know they're doing it, and with no ill intent, you see the look of a little bit of like pity, like shock and awe in another parent's eyes. Like, I can't believe she has to deal with that. Like, it comes across their face before they can control it. Correct. And I'm not saying anybody means to do that.
It's just a natural response.
It used to make me angry. Like, I would just want to go, you know what I mean? Like, you have no idea how
rocket ship.
You have no idea how hard this is. You have no idea how bad it sucks to watch everybody else's little boy go to the ball field and go hunting with their dad and do all the things.
Just go on a walk.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just do
the
things.
Simplest things. Go to a movie theater and just sit and watch it. Like, taking May to the movie theater, like, you know, having a typical kid and then having you really get the two different, that's the hardest part in the beginning for me, even now, is I was taught, and with May, get in there, play. Let's read books together. Let's play Barbies together. You're Batman. Let's go to hike. Let's go to a movie. Let's go to the zoo. Like, being there. If she's on the floor, get down on her level. Play. If I did that with my son, he'd beat the shit out of me. But that's how I'm wired. That's how you're wired. That's how, we're like to play. But that's not what my son requires.
It's not what he needs.
And my dad always says it, when he's content and he's happy, don't make eye contact. Don't ruin it. So, but it messes with you. You feel like a neglectful parent. You feel like, I'm not doing a good job but if I sat down to read him a book, he would probably tear up the pages and walk away. You know? Yeah. And so it's just different, and finding that footing of our normal, you know?
I remember letting Tanner watch his preferred shows a lot when he was younger, when I was doing with the others. And I remember having such guilt about screen time and letting him rot, you know. But then again, I'm like, but I'm playing Barbies, or I'm baking, or I'm doing homework, or I was getting household tasks. And I didn't want him running around slamming himself on walls. And I didn't want him, endlessly flapping and just wandering, looking around. So I'm like, well, maybe he's at least absorbing. I mean, obviously it was like kid approved educational content, like maybe at least he's like learning something, colors, shapes, numbers, whatever. But then I would, so like, that's another thing. Like, people have no idea the level of guilt that you
I know, you're just
never doing
you
enough.
feel like, yes, you feel like it's never. Girl, I have him right now watching Frozen 2 while I'm doing this.
Watch it again.
Yeah,
Watch it
maybe.
again.
He brought me the remote, so I'm sure I have to change it here in a second. Isn't it crazy?
It's crazy. And like, you just, and those things with your neurotypical children, you don't have to think about.
I know. Well, it will. And I was thinking about this the other day. You teach your kid, neurotypical kid, to tie their shoes. They got it done. You teach your autistic kid, and then they might forget the next 2 weeks and not remember how to do it for 6 to 8 months. My son has picked up a spoon and eaten with it, and then just will never do it again. My son has, I might have it on video somewhere. He said mom, and he's never said it again. You know, so like what's accomplishing task, you know, not eloping and just, I don't know, sitting still and eating your food instead of running. My son grazes. He just, everything's a finger food here, by the way. I don't even care if it's soup. It's finger food. So, but he grazes. He has to take laps, take a bite, take laps. So teaching him to sit and eat and all that stuff, if he can accomplish it, and he'll do it like a few times and he won't do it ever again. That's our normal.
And that is unbelievably exhausting.
Yeah.
Believably exhausting.
Yeah. Like, so telling them the same thing over and over and over again. Yeah.
Oh, and that it just feels like an endless.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, we don't care. We don't mind. There are kids, we'll do anything for them. But just like anybody, you get burnt out.
You do.
You're just like, oh my gosh, now.
You need a freaking break. Yeah. Ashley, so let's talk about like your social media. So,
okay.
You know, now we know like a little bit of his story and like where he is and what you're trying to do with therapy now. So obviously, and this will caught my attention, you do not hold back. And some of your clapbacks, like when people say the wrong day, have made me, I've fallen off my kitchen chair a few times, dying laughing. Like some people are, I am not offended by curse words. And I think like when they're, sometimes you just have to, you just got to get it out. That's just what it takes, especially when you're living in a type of extreme stress that you are. So on the online stuff. So what, cause I mean, I would call you an influencer now.
Well,
I call
myself a de-influencer, defluencer. This is all kind of like what happened with y'all on your podcast. It's all organic, you know.
It just happened.
My mom actually suggested TikTok to me in 2020 because she saw the skits and the people doing fun stuff, and she's always known I cope with humor, and I really adhere to that in life through a lot of things. She's like, I think you'd really like it. And I'm like, all right. So in the beginning, so I have Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and it's all friends and family. It's not like I was, you know, had a lot of following, but so it was all close friends and family. And so whenever I started, it was just the same. They'll do little trends and stuff. And then I started posting about, not even about, I just been sharing like clips of my life with my son, like, you know, and they were just like normal average days, and he's cute. I want to show him off. I'm a proud mama, you know? Yeah. You know, just like any other parent. And then I kept sharing because his uniqueness and his behaviors became more interesting and fascinating that I had a difficult time coping with, but I was learning this is common. And whenever I would share that, it was good for my family and friends to see it, because whenever they would come to visit or we go to visit, they're not so thrown off with my son trying to drink water out of the toilet. They're like, oh, no, Stadler, let's not do that, you know? Or they know that, okay, when Stadler comes to visit, his favorite food is bacon. Or when he slaps his belly, that means he's pissed off, you know, stuff like that. And then I just kept sharing whenever he would hit himself. I'm like, because it's shocking and jarring, but I want him to be able to go to my mom and dad's and be around his cousins without, because if you see that in person, you're like, what in the fuck is happening? You know, because it can get really bad. But so it kind of just gave them some familiarity with it. So when we are together, which we do, we hang out a lot, and Stadler has these behaviors. Everybody doesn't even bat an eye. Nobody, like, it's cool. It's fine. This is our normal. Isn't that great? But so then what happened is, other people with similar families and similar children to Stadler, we all started to kind of just pour in love and tips and advice and just perspective, humor, the funniest shit is in my comment section.
Yes.
Oh my God. I don't even want to say followers because they're all friends, really. You go through the comments, these are all people who have genuine kind hearts, who are living some real hard shit and still showing up every day. Those are my friends / followers. And it just happened organically, and I just never stopped. I just kept doing what I wanted to do. And it's more of a diary kind of vlog. And I've always been this. You can ask my mom, you can go back to ask my elementary teachers all the way through college. I've always been this personality, and loud, obnoxious, all this stuff. But that's who I am. And so when people are like, I don't like you, I'm like, you don't have to be here. It's like, have you heard of Scroll? Like, and then, but I think this is the all-time favorite because people are scared to share, even on social media, and I just say, block them, they could, first of all, it could be a robot, it could be an 8-year-old child, or if it is a miserable person, block them. Why? You don't want that. Right. Because it's not like I'm making money off of this stuff. This has been kind of a mental health therapeutic thing for me, being on social media, because inadvertently it's turned into kind of like our stomping grounds for just support.
It's like socialization too.
Like we can get on there and say, I love my kids so much, this is so hard, and then the very next day, fuck these kids. So I love my baby so much I would die for them.
And then
rocket shit.
Exactly, for sure.
Yeah.
I just love it. I think it's so good. I think it's so good for people to see it. And when you're in a situation like yours where you can't just pick up and go, you can't just take them to the water park. You can't just, it's social. I mean, you've got some shit. And
that's why I like it, is because it's like me going out, just hanging out with the girlfriends, having brunch or whatever, but I'm doing it, recording at home and without a bra. This is the best life ever.
Everybody
back, make them clap again.
Exactly. And for your sideshow, here we go.
I don't have to explain intricately all his behaviors and his violence. Like, it's just, And also, like I said, I want to pierce the veil on autism. But if you also see, it's not just autism. It's me. It's my personality. I don't get to show up in the real world, and I like laughing. I like being silly. I like Saturday Night Live skits and stuff. I think I run on it. So, and it's a good spot to be.
It is. I'm so happy that you have it, and that has been for Lisa and I. I mean, the coolest. Yeah. I mean, I just said this in the podcast that came out yesterday. Getting to meet all these other moms
from all across the world. You can't do that in real life.
A literal world.
Is it? I have goosebumps every time. I'm like, wow, why are you here? Are you sad? Are you depressed? Do you know?
Are you losing your
Who's watching you? You can't watch me. If you're here, you're unhinged and you need to sign this waiver.
Exactly. I know you're not right if you're here. Love it and I always found, and still to this day, my best ideas, my best inspiration, my things that I've figured out that worked, 9.5 times out of 10, it was from another mom. Mm-hmm. Not to belittle doctors or therapists, they were too. But 9.5 times out of 10, my best ideas, my best inspiration, my best everything, I got from another mom.
Yep.
Also, just that feeling of she gets me and she can't fix it for me.
Yeah.
She feels what I feel.
And sharing that information without belittling another parent. And like, this might work for you. And you're right. That's how I've learned. And I've gotten so many fascinating tips and advice and ideas on how to mitigate a lot of Stadler's most difficult behaviors. He does this painful stim where in between the door and the wall, he likes to close the door and I don't know if you can see it. Can you see this? He'll do this. And close it. Yeah, and he'll break off his fingers. Well, somebody said,
oh my gosh.
Somebody said, have you tried a hair clip? Because he likes or a chip clip.
And let him do that, which won't hurt it.
I just learned that on the internet. So guess how many times he does this now? Never. And if he does, we redirect him to a clip. But I only learned that on social media. Isn't that fascinating?
That is a great example of the good of social media.
Oh, yeah.
Found an appropriate solution for something that he was doing that's injurious.
And it was just all because I had vulnerability. Because I did. I was like, guys, what do I do? What do I do? And
he's got to quit.
Everybody came pouring in. And I was like, this is power. This is a movement. This is change.
I love your comment section.
Yeah.
Your comment section is hysterical.
They're funny. They're hype. They're feral. I love it.
And like,
everybody's grateful. Everybody's blessed. You know, start with what you have, because what you have is plenty. And just that solidarity, that movement of being feral, wanting change, and running on immense love and humor. Fucking forget about it. Game over. We just took over the world. Forget it.
I think that needs to be the title of this episode. Stay feral.
I would be honored. I would be honored.
It is. It definitely.
I love it.
Do that. I love that though. That is the good part. And you know, for me, social media, it is, I'm a talker too. I'm a relator. I like people. I'm just fascinated. I like to know what makes you tick. I like to know why you're different than me. I love to know how you handle things, how you see it. I've just always liked people. I like to talk. And it has been that for me, just like a therapy source, a socialization source, and just, not right now. Sorry. And and 95% of it really is that. I mean, the trolls are awful. The comments and the judgment is awful, but truly like 95% of it, I feel like it really
absolutely
for you.
Absolutely.
And that's why I keep doing it, because the good so much.
Oh my gosh. It's amazing. And you know, but I want that for other people. So whenever I do post, okay, let's be real. I run a health and wellness company, Get Burly, with my husband, hence the name Get Burly.
Okay, wait, so that is why because I forgot to ask you. That was
there's a whole spiel to this. So I started it and I was like, oh, I'll do a TikTok account for our business. And then I just turned it into my whole thing. And so I say what people with real jobs can't say. So everybody's welcome for the service. I fucking got you, hoes. But my husband and I toe that line, like, should I change my social media handles? Because our business is about, you know, mentally being strong, positivity. And I'm over here going, fuck that hoe. And he's like, right now it's okay, but we might. And I'm like,
temper that a little bit someday. Yeah.
But I mean, he loves it though, because he's Mr. Burly. I'm Mrs. Burly. It's Get Burly.
I love it. So I mean, where did that name like originate? So
my husband created it. It was his business before I even met him. He's had it since, I want to say 2008. And he just runs events and retreats for leadership, team building, positivity. Dude, he's a saint. He is such a good guy. Great reputation. I don't know why he's married to me. I hope every day he comes home, I'm like, thank you for coming back.
Thank God you're here.
Don't look at TikTok.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Watch my social media. You're blocked. Blocked.
I know. So one time I did block him. He goes, did you block me? And I go, well, you made me mad. Oh, so when we bought this house, come here, let me get that nose. We had you know, they're like, oh, we'll allow this much for paint, you know, the paint allowance around the house. I was like, don't paint it. We got drawings. Don't. Just give us the money.
We're going to have custom artwork for you all over. Yes. No,
so that's one of the things, because I'm like you, I like being structured, efficient. I have a to-do list. I mean, I clean out the garage, go clean teeth, go run 15 miles.
Yeah.
You know, hang out with my daughter. Boom. Next day, do the thing. Now I'm like, just draw on the walls. Here's your mini marshmallows. That's your lunch.
Kleenex. Yeah. Whatever you need to do. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I love it. So that is the mystery of Get Burly, because like I'm wondering, well, and then I saw the fitness stuff and I was like, maybe it's like a reference to weight training or something. Like, you know, I was like trying to figure out where that would have come from.
Well, him and his friends are always, because he was born and raised on the East Coast, so that he would go up to Vermont and snowboard. He would go out to California and surf. Like, so it was him and his guys all the time, and they would just go, let's go get burly. What are you going to do today, man? Let's go get burly. Let's go in the mountains. And
it's just,
it just clicked. Yeah.
I love it.
And we have a lot of support, family and friends who will send us, because we have shirts and stuff, and they're doing the poses. Like, we have the Get Burly pose, which is just like this, and it's basically just embracing life and everything. So it's been nice. And then it just kind of organically happened to my social media, but there might be a time I have to change it for liability purposes.
That is so
it turns out my husband's sensitive when I talk about fellatio.
I heard that about
him. He's such a snowflake.
He's such a baby.
Yeah.
His birthday post.
I'm dying.
funny. I was dying laughing. I showed my husband and he hooted. That was so great. That was so great. So let me think. Let me look down my little list of we've in a roundabout way. I think we have about hit them all.
I know. I even made notes because I knew he was going to be coming in and out. So I was, and I have your little list hang up here too. I'm ready. My husband was like, "You're excited, aren't you?" I'm like,
Okay. So Ashley, what would you, okay, so a mom comes to you, she has a 2-year-old, newly diagnosed. What would you say to her?
I'm so excited about this because I get this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like we said, it's not in the books.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the big thing is that when you first get this diagnosis, you're first introduced into this, and it's just, you're told you go home. Like, this is not diagnosed in utero, so you don't know for a few years. And then when you do find out, you don't even know what level or what side of the spectrum or anything, because as they continue, so will their behaviors. And as they continue to grow, so will their behaviors. So your kid might, he's mild. Now he's severe. It's all different. But your grief is not betrayal of your child. You can love your child and still grieve. Like, I think that was so hard because people in my position want their babies. They've had their kids die in cancer. They have their kids with terminal illness, and they probably look at me and go, "I want what she has." Yeah. And you have to go dark like that to appreciate what you have, but it's okay to grieve, and that isn't betrayal. It's a human natural response. In fact, it's healthy. If you don't grieve or just hiccup or stop in the road and reassess, then you're a robot. Because there's nothing more powerful and a more immense love than having a child and just being a parent, and then finding out their struggles are going to be 10, 20 times more immense than a typical kid. And, and the climate of the world already is so hard and dark and evil. Throw on a disability. Yeah, that's right, buddy. Right. So grief, like I said, grief and love can live in the same room. You got to find your people, and it's online for us because we, like you said earlier, we can't just hop out and go meet at a restaurant, go to the zoo. So it's online. We're chilling. We're jamming out with our clams out. Hi, baby. He keeps fooling me. And then also we're forced virtually because not a lot of people are qualified to watch our kids, and if they are qualified, they're through the roof as far as finances, rightfully so. Right. And then insurance never covers for respite. So don't feel bad to grieve, and don't feel bad that you're online a lot. I'm online so much more than I've ever been since having my son. And I used to feel so guilty about that. I was hiking a mountain. That was that was like, dang, I kicked today's butt. Now it's like, okay, I got online. I connected with people. We laughed. That's healing. That's okay. It doesn't, just because you went from hiking mountains to posting to social media does not make you less of a human. You have to evolve. You have to. And you don't die, you evolve. And it's painful as a mother trucker. What do you want? And you see I'm talking to someone famous?
Hardly. And you are making an incredible impact online. You are. And sharing his life. You are, oh, look at that baby.
No,
I'm so sweet. And you are making an incredible impact, and it's just as impactful as climbing a mountain. But Ashley, it has been an honor. I adore you. I think you're awesome and amazing, and this has been so much fun to have you. Thank you for taking the time. Hey, Stadler, bye, Stadler. Listen, wrap up every episode saying love you, mean it, and thank you for your time. So we love you, mean it, and we hope that you will come back and be a guest again.
I can't wait. I love you too, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay, great.
Okay, I'll text you later.
All right, thank you.
And lastly, everybody, if you liked hanging out with us today, do us a favor, hit the follow button, leave a rating, or drop a quick review. It helps more than you know. And if you really loved it, send it to a friend who needs to hear this. And if you're interested in sponsoring a future episode, please send us an email at talktomesismail@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and love you, mean.